Welcome to Sunshine's Garden. It's been a little while since I've been here, but today, there's a reason we're coming back. There's a reason. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a story. The story about a man who lost his life. And while I do that, I'm just going to be mining for some materials, just grabbing some materials. So, if you're ready to hear the story, just sit back, relax, maybe grab some popcorn. It's not a very long story, but it'll be nice. And I hope you all enjoy it. All right, time to get started. So I heard a story once of a man who lived a humble life on a small farm with 3 sheep, 2 adults and 1 lamb. He loved his sheep dearly, for they were the last descendants of his late father's herd. He could still remember the days on his father's farm, learning to mend fences and weaving warm winter coats from the yarn spun from their sheep's precious wool. His father had been an honorable man, known for producing the finest wool and always keeping his word. He provided the highest quality yarn spun by the best spinner in the region. His father taught him to cherish every sheep, even those that seemed to amount to nothing. He would often remind his son, it's not the wool itself that fetches a high price, but the love and care we pour into our sheep. Our sheep are our most valuable assets. When you see them as the precious treasures they are, each one will be worth far more than any man could measure in gold. The man cherished the memory of his father's loving smile and gentle nature, the way that he treated both his sheep and his own son. He learned how to love and care for them in that same way. Through his devoted attention, the last 2 sheep his father had given him produced a beautiful lamb, one the man cherished very deeply. Though rich in care and joy for his flock, the man had fallen into a great debt over the years since his father's passing. Fewer people needed yarn, and without his father's help, he could not produce as much as before. One day, a debt collector arrived to claim the man's dues. The man had nothing to offer but his precious sheep. The collector threatened to take his home, yet without the home, the man could not care for his flock. He scraped together everything he had, but it was not enough. As the debt collector walked around the farm, he noticed a beautiful lamb. A lamb with an immaculate coat and perfect condition that would more than cover the debt. The man immediately said no. He said, no, there's nothing. No. If there's anything else I can give, I'll give it. If there's anything else, I'll give it. I can't give away my most precious lamb. It's everything to me. But the debt collector refused anything else. He said, this will more than pay off the debt. With deep reluctance and pain, the man gave up his beloved lamb. He promised it that he would do everything in his power to bring it home to its family. He hoped to produce enough yarn to buy the lamb back, but it seemed impossible. In the depths of his despair, lying on the floor of his house, weeping, he remembered his father's words. It's not the wool itself that fetches a high price, but the love and care we pour into our sheep. So the man sheared his 2 remaining sheep, spun all the yarn he could, and hurried to the town square to sell it at the price of the finest wool. Day and night he toiled, laboring to earn enough to redeem his lamb. At last, when he had gathered just enough money, he ran to find the debt collector. But both the collector and the lamb were gone. The man begged for any news of his beloved lamb, or even the man whom had taken it, yet no one knew where they had gone. Distraught, he had turned home, and on the way, a heavy rain began to fall. As he hurried through the downpour, he passed an old friend of his father's and stopped to ask for shelter. The old friend, happy to see his best friend's son, welcomed him inside. The man shared everything he had endured and what he planned to do next. the loss of his beloved lamb, and all the work he had put in just to recover it. While listening, the old friend remembered that he himself had been owed a great debt by someone. There was a man who had owed him a great amount of money, but all that he had on him was a precious lamb, one that reminded him of his best friend's sheep. He asked the young man to follow him, and on their way outside, they looked in the distance and saw a small pen, and there inside of that small pen was the man's most precious lamb. The man's heart leaped with joy. He cried out in celebration. He thanked his father's friend. He thanked the man so much for his kindness and offered to buy the lamb. The old friend smiled warmly and said he wanted to give it to him freely. The man refused at first, knowing the lamb's true value. But the old friend told him a story of a great debt he had once owed to a man that had been such an honorable man and shared much with him. He thought he'd never be able to repay it. And this man was none other than the young man's own father. This was the only way he could repay that debt. Tears streaming down his face, the man embraced the old friend as a son embraces a father. He accepted the gift as a great blessing. The next morning, the man thanked his father's friend and blessed him, and then he set off with his precious lamb. When they arrived, the two older sheep greeted them with joy. The sound of their love and rejoicing could be heard from miles. The celebration was like the celebration of a great king's return from a victorious battle. Their love for that lamb was truly expressed, just as the love for you when you return into your Father's arms. Though you may seem to be lost, though you may feel like a great debt is owed in your life, the Lord loves you deeply, and He desires you to return home. He will pay any price to bring you back into His arms. So yeah, you are extremely valuable and loved by the Creator of the universe, right? He wants to have a relationship with you. He wants to know you, and He wants you to know about Him. You know, His love is very amazing, right? Oh, it's coming out of my mouth. Let me fix that. Hold on a second. There we go. We got it fixed. His love for you is infinite, immaculate, and immeasurable. You are desired by the Creator of the universe. He wants to know you. So get to know the Lord today. Thanks to Jesus, we get to abide in Him and get to know who He is. When we allow Jesus to be Lord over our lives, we are a new creation. Old things are gone and passed away. Behold, the new is here. So allow the Lord's love to nourish your hearts today. I just wanted to say thank all of you so much for all of y'all's support. Y'all are truly a blessing and a gift. I'm glad that I'm able to share this kind of content with you guys and just bless the Lord through it. So guys, I love you all so very much. Go out and shine y'all's beautiful lights today, okay? Y'all have a blessed day.
Amigo.